So I was sent this video by my homeboy. Shout out to my homeboy Mark Keats. He sends me great content to comment on and to put out into the world. And it's a short little clip. I'll put the whoever owns this video, I'll put it in the description box. It's real short. I would like to see the whole entire interview. If anybody know what an interview is, if you can, post it or send it to me or what have you, then we can probably do a whole deep dive into a whole conversation about it. But it's a simple question. And the way this woman answers it tells a lot. But let's hit it.
Are you married?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Is he happy?
Oh, that's a weird question. Usually they ask if I'm happy.
Yeah, but like it's a different kind of an interview. I'm just, because he's not here, like I want to show my care for him as well. Is he happy? Your answer is yes, no. You don't wanna you don't wanna answer that question.
No.
I think it's okay. I think we got the answer.
Who we?
That's me and the camera guy. You got it, bro?
And fuck. And fuck.
So it's a lot to unpack. I wanted to play it first just so y'all could see it in its full context. So it's a lot that we can unpack on this. So we're going to start from the beginning and we're going to break it down.
Are you married?
Yes.
Now, you see the cheese and the teeth, the eyes. I would legitimately say that she probably is happy. Her husband, now I don't know. Her husband's probably a provider. Don't know what he does. Don't even know who her husband is, or whatever. But she seems like she's genuinely happy now. She may be just putting a face on for the camera, make her husband look good. And that's, what I'm saying? Shout out to her for doing that if that's the case. But I'm just going to assume that she's telling the truth based on what we saw at the very end of the video about how, hardcore she got. So yeah, she seems like that she may be genuinely happy. Let's continue.
Cool.
Yes.
Is he happy?
Oh, that's a weird question. Usually they ask if I'm happy.
Now, that answer there shows you that was all about herself. Selfish, if you will, maybe. But yes, she says she's used to people asking me if I'm happy, not if he's happy. Basically saying, I don't care. So, women, do y'all care if your husband is happy? I'm not going to say your boyfriend. I'm not going to say your beau. I'm not going to say your side dude. I don't care. I'm talking about, is your husband happy? Because if y'all living in a house together, which means y'all are, supporting each other, paying bills, doing everything, whatever you're supposed to be. The question is, do you know if your man is happy? Now, for context, men would do anything for his woman and it not necessarily be based on love. Love becomes a part of it, but it's not really based on love, but it becomes based on duty and responsibility, which is addressed in the scriptures about duty and responsibility. Love doesn't really, it's not really mentioned that way when it comes to the family dynamic or the husband-wife dynamic. Now, the courting part, and it does say, husbands, love your wife like Christ loved the church. And do y'all even know what that means? I hope y'all mean it got something to do with grace and forgiving. Every time you mess up and do something wrong that you know better than doing, because then you got, anyway. And then it says, wives, respect your husbands because that's what we want. Respect. What does that mean? Respect our time, respect our money, respect what we do. Don't, especially if we are like working our butts off to make sure that everything is taken care of, because there are things that we do behind the scene that helps us that most likely you probably don't. Not when I say us, I mean us as in the dynamic, the whole family, the relationship, not us as in men. But in the meantime, y'all could be doing things to help people, but not necessarily helping the husband out, maybe helping the kids out, helping yourself out, helping the kids out. But the husband will make sure that you are taken care of, that the needs are met. Uh, Spa treatments and $1,000 purses and $100 shoes and things like that probably ain't gonna come all the time. But the man will try to do everything he can do to make sure that you are taken care of or happy because of duty. May not can't even stand you. Make it because every time he looks up, if you're arguing, you're bickering, you're always a negative Nancy or nagging Nancy or whatever, and just he just can't do it right for whatever reason, for whatever kind of psychological trauma you had growing up, and you never went and got counseling to get it fixed. And things are not his fault. Maybe you got been had so many relationships and baby daddies who were nothing, and this that and the third guys in a relationship, old boyfriends who were nothing, maybe an old ex-husband, who knows. And then you finally get around a guy who's actually trying to do things right for you, right by you, to try to make you whole in some way. And it's still not good enough because you know better. But if you knew better, you would have made better choices before him, and y'all wouldn't even be together. But that's a whole nother story. I want to know if women actually care if their husband is happy. But like I say, we'll do things just because out of duty. Only thing we would require is the respect. You ain't got to give us flowers. You ain't got to rub our feet every day, have cigars and everything. I mean, if you want to do that out of respect, then do it. You know what I'm saying? But don't think that, oh, I'm gonna do this one little thing, or I'm gonna give him some tonight. Man, you get some tonight, that's fine. And tomorrow, it's the same problems. But I mean, you do what you got to do, to help him cope through the day in the outside world, just as long as he don't get that negativity inside. But her answer shows you that she, like a lot of y'all, don't think about how your husband is feeling. You're worried about how he making you feel. And a lot of times it seems like y'all find a reason to make yourselves upset by something he done by the way it makes you feel. But anyway,
Yeah, but like it's a different kind of an interview. I'm just, because he's not here, like I want to show my care for him as well. Is he happy? Your answer is yes, no. Do,
let me tell you, hold on. Let me tell you how I would answer it, or how men would probably answer this question. If a man was asked by a woman, by a man, whoever, are you married? Yes. Is she happy? First thing we probably say was, I hope so. I don't know. I try to do everything I can to make her happy. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, she was all that dog on me. All this, a lot of times the attitude and stuff she get mad about don't make sense to me. I don't understand it half the time. You know what I'm saying? So you try to do something and it's like it ain't right or whatever, and it's just argue about silly stuff and get mad about stuff. I don't know if she's happy or not, but I guess she happy enough she's still with me. She ain't left yet, so I'm guessing, but I'm trying every day. This heifer couldn't even give an answer. She couldn't even halfway explain. Like, it's almost like she didn't care, she didn't know, and was not about to try to figure out. She just was not going to give an answer. Wasn't even going to try to explain at all. At least a dude would try to explain, even if a dude is not even happy himself. He would try to at least try to explain, especially like in a public forum. He at least try to explain, try to make it seem like to show his wife in the best light possible. Now, unless he's just miserable, then oh, she miserable, then just come out there and say it.
you don't wanna you don't wanna answer that question.
Man, she said she don't want to answer the question. Is it because you don't know, or is it because you just for the first time thought about it and probably thinking that your man is not happy, that your husband is not happy, tired of stuff? Husband probably has told you things, I'm quite sure, has had discussions with you about how he feels about stuff, and you don't care because it's all about you. And this is interesting because it kind of want to hit. Hold on, let me just finish.
I think it's okay. I think we got the answer.
Who we?
It's me and the camera
And
guy.
all of us got the answer.
You got it, bro?
Yeah, I got it too.
And fuck. And fuck.
Man, she got highly upset with that. But then I want to segue over to like talk about all these relationship gurus. Let's talk about them for a moment. Red pill, blue pill, purple pill, whatever you want to call it. You go online and you see all these people, men, women. You see the women have these forums, men have these forums too. The women have these forums. They all talk about relationships, about what they look for in a man, what they look for in a woman, what they've been through in life, what they've done. A lot of women, their forums talk a lot about sexual escapades. You don't see dudes really talking about stuff like that. But women, when they talk to me, when people, a lot of times I feel like when women talk amongst each other, especially in forms like that, it's more therapeutic, where they can get off their chest things that they did in their lifetime they may be ashamed of. But to get around people, remember, water seeks its own level. If they get around people that are like minded, that do things, that think like them, or done things like them, like they want to have like a slut time of their life or a whole phase, whatever they call it. They want to get around other women who think like that, who have thought like that, and so they can say, "Oh well, you know what? Hey, we the same people, so it's all great." Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with you. Me neither. I don't see nothing wrong. But damn it, come on, man. Let's be honest. But anyway, I don't know why he don't value me the same third. But anyway, you have these relationship gurus, people who are such experts on relationships. Now, I will say, yeah, my first marriage, hey, you know what I'm saying? We were divorced. Now, I'm not going to say why, but I'm just going to say it's not as extreme as a lot of these people may say. I would say that it's probably more based on it. I say if it's based on the reasoning that I was given, then it wasn't my reasoning. I wouldn't have got a divorce for that. Let's say that. Because I can always say, well, maybe could have been some things I did differently. Might have could have done this, done more of this, done less of that, something like that. Might have moved a little quicker on certain things, paid attention to certain things. I can say that. But I can also say that my reasoning, whether I was working, not working, making a lot of money, making a little money, my reasoning, my thought process I would not have got a divorce over the reasons that I was given. Okay. So, and but with that being said, like I say, you have these relationship gurus who claim they know exactly how to have a successful relationship. But yet the majority of these people are not in relationships. Or the majority of these people are not married. They're with a fiance for the last 9 years. Most of these, they don't. And I'm not just disparaging. I'm not going to talk about people who are with somebody, who've been with somebody for years and y'all are not paperly married or what have you. But I'm talking about it, if you're going to give advice on the subject, your track record needs to have some positive credibility to it. Because if relationships work, then if what you, not relationships, but your relationships advice to all these gurus who know everything about the relationship, their advice actually worked, then there would be less divorce rate, a lower divorce rate, less divorces, more marriages, more children. The reproductive rate wouldn't have dropped. The crime rate would go down. Things in this, things in this, the next of the debt, your debt would not shoot up, skyrocket. A lot of things play into this besides just if I'm happy and if she's happy. It's again, relationship is about number one, duty. Because if you don't do what you need to do, man, y'all could be happy. What they say, you can be happy living under. We can be happy living in a car as long as I'm with you, man. Please, man, please. Because if I'm trying to do things and you not trying to do things except just live on happiness, we ain't gonna be together. If you ain't trying to get out here and grind and try to, don't say, pay off these bills, or trying to grind and, increase your education, or trying to grind and get this business going, or, working over, trying to help out, working overtime or whatever the case may be to try to get our finances straight too. so we can live comfortably when they come in the house, because it's already enough out there in the streets that we got to deal with as human beings. Now I got to come home to a problem, and you ain't trying to help fix it because, oh well, we can sit here and just be miserable as long as we together and we in love. Nah, I'm not doing it, because I can go out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and get it and bring it back, and then you can sit in this house and be miserable by yourself. But I'm finna go get it. So you either roll with me or you don't roll with me. People gotta understand there's a hierarchy in relationships. Always has been, like scripturally, biblically speaking. You got the Most High, and then you got the Messiah, and you got the husband, you got the wife, and you got the kids. Period. In that order. But regardless, or even if you don't believe in, like I say, in Messiah, believing in the scriptures or whatever, but there's a Most High, and there's a God up there. So you got God, the husband, the wife, and then the kids. Just like that. It was created that way for a reason. Why it's supposed to be a help meet. So understand what what I'm saying is you got to understand what the role is. But again, this woman here, back to this woman, it's like the help meet is supposed to make sure that the man has what he needs to make the family successful because he's a CEO of the family, right? And if that makes sense, if you work for a company, if they got like CEOs, owners, presidents, supervisors, managers, all these people, assistant managers, clinic coordinator, this and got all these people ahead of you, above you, before we get to your position. I mean, generally speaking, because you may be a CEO or a president or a manager, but we got all these steps before we get to the position of the person who actually gets out there and is doing most of the manual labor. Like if you're at a nursing home, you got a DON, you got the administrator. Don't forget the people above him, but you got a facility administrator, then you got like the DON, and you got the assistant DON, and then you have like maybe like a weekend supervisor or something like that. But then under all that, then you have your RNs, and then under all that, then you have your CNAs. So the CNA and the RN ain't on the same level, and the CNA and a supervisor, weekend supervisor, DON, y'all ain't on the same level. Y'all can cackle and kiki and hee and all that, kiki and all that stuff together. But when it comes down to business, making things run right, everybody gotta follow rules from the people up here. Same things in relationships. Same things in marriages, let's say. There's a hierarchy. And you got to make sure that you do your job in order for, it's like the CNA got to make sure they do their job in order for the nurse's job to run more smoothly. Because if the CNAs are not doing their job, as in like getting the residents up, cleaning the residents, changing diapers, getting their trays out on time, taking them to do showers, this, that, and the third. If they're not doing that now, the nurse is going to have to somehow help provide do those activities when the nurse already has a job that they have already, that they have to do, which is based on a license, which is basically they do their job wrong or neglect in their job, they can lose their license to practice. The nurse has to make sure that they do what they need. And don't forget the doctors are way on this side who is above all this too. But then but the nurse got to make sure they do their job. So the nurse got to make sure that the CNA do their job, and the nurse got to make sure they do their own job, because the ADON and the DON is watching them. Make sure they do their job. Why? Because the administrator has to make sure everybody's doing their job, because if everybody's not doing their job under the administrator watch, the administrator can lose their job. So like I say, it's all a hierarchy. Everybody can be in the same building, like I say, kicking it, working together, having fun, making the job successful, creating a great presentation. But in the end, if ain't no money being made, if patients are being neglected, too many issues are happening, they're gonna start picking people off one by one. They're not gonna pick all y'all off together and send all y'all out together. No, they're gonna pick one by one and say who, you know what I'm saying, and figure out who they're going to get rid of first. So it's a hierarchy. Same thing in marriages. If the marriage fails, you know who they're going to talk to? They're going to talk to the man. They're not going to ask a woman, because they ask a woman why it failed. Oh, she's going to definitely say, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, who going to do that? The man going to be like, you know what I'm saying? But the man going to be like, they're going to ask the man, like, man, why your relationship fail? Well, I wasn't able to get this done. Or the man can even say, hey, she didn't do this and she didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. No, they're going to say it don't matter. You were the head of the household. You the man. If you couldn't get her right, then okay, understand, you know what I'm saying? You leave it, whatever the case may be. But if stuff fail, it's going to always come back on the husband first, because they can say they asked one and she can say anything she wants. They're going to be like, yeah, that husband was sorry. He should have did more to make sure you was happy. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yeah. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple minutes out of your day, but it means the world to us here. If you would like to support financially, you can get super thanks, super chat, super stickers, and you can go to the description box. There are links there you can click on to help support the channel there. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.